Last night, the U.S. House passed a bill codifying the right to same-sex and interracial marriage in the wake of the Supreme Court's reversal of Roe v. Wade, responding to concerns that marriage rights could be threatened in the future. For more on that vote, we are joined now by Jim Obergefell, the lead plaintiff in the Supreme Court's case that made same-sex marriage legal and who's now running for the Ohio State House. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like to just jump right in here. The final vote last night was 267 to 157, with 47 Republicans joining every Democrat in the majority. Just like to get your reaction to that vote, if you were surprised by the bipartisan support.
No, I'm not surprised. And in fact, we shouldn't be surprised because our marriages matter. And for the Republican Party, who claims to be the pro-family party, voting to protect and respect marriage should be a no-brainer. I would expect all Republicans who claim to be pro-family to support this bill. And I think it's outrageous that other than those 47 people who did, the remainder of the Republican Party in the House chose to say they do not support families. They do not believe families deserve to be protected.
I'm curious, now it goes on to the Senate. Do you feel confident that there will be enough Republican votes there in order to protect the right to marry on the national level?
Well, I certainly do wonder about that, given the Senate GOP. Mitch McConnell has said that he is not going to push this. He is going to wait and see. Well, Senator McConnell, our families cannot wait and see. Our families deserve to be protected and respected. And for the GOP, as well as members of the highest court in the land, to say that we should go back to the founding of our nation, the late 18th century, in order to determine what our rights should be, I find that to be an appalling stance for any person to take, to say that our rights, our values, and what our country stands for should be frozen in time as of 1789 when the Constitution was ratified.
We've heard from some Republicans who say that this bill isn't necessary and that this is a, quote, manufactured crisis, that marriage isn't threatened because of the Roe decision. But as you well know, Justice Clarence Thomas specifically mentioned that the decision in your case should be revisited in his opinion on Roe. So what's your response to the Senate Republicans who may argue that this bill isn't even needed right now?
Well, my response is, if it isn't even needed, then it shouldn't be hard for you to vote in favor of it. Take the time to say yay and show that you are actually pro-family, that you support keeping our relationships and our families safe and protected, and that we do deserve the respect that we get as married couples and as families. So no, it is not a manufactured crisis. We have a sitting Supreme Court justice who has made it clear he does not believe marriage equality should stand, and he has given a clarion call to opponents of marriage equality across the nation to come after marriage. So no, I don't feel safe, and no other person in this country should feel safe. And when we lose one right, all other rights are at risk.
A big picture for us, do you think that views on same-sex marriage have evolved enough since the Supreme Court's decision that they won't be threatened, even if it were to come up before the court again?
Well, I don't think anything is a given. 71% of Americans support marriage equality. So I will also say to the members of the Senate, GOP, your constituents support marriage equality. So do what your constituents believe in, what your constituents are in favor of, and support marriage equality. And we have senators like Senator Cruz saying that this should be overturned because it should be left up to the states. Well, Senator Cruz, will you say that same thing about interracial marriage? Justice Thomas, will you say that same thing about interracial marriage?
Interesting questions there. And you're also running for an Ohio House seat this year with your Democratic primary coming up in just a few weeks. The seat is in a part of Ohio where Republicans have long dominated. How do you view your chances if you're on the ballot in November, and why was it so important for you to run?
My chances are great because people see in me someone who believes in doing the right thing, someone who is willing to fight no matter how overwhelming the odds might appear. Being part of marriage equality changed me profoundly, and I have to keep fighting for everyone, not just the few. And too many of our elected officials they are doing things that harm the public. They are not doing public service. And that's why I'm running, because that has to change.
Jim Obergefell, we thank you so much for your time tonight. Appreciate your insight.
Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.